Welcome to At Home MMA with your kids. This is the 5th lesson, and it is starring Sydney and Hunter. Sydney is not Hunter's daughter. Hunter's one of my instructors, but for the sake of this video, she's her daughter. Let's go into more intermediate grappling techniques, but start with a new striking technique, the uppercut. The uppercut's a close range punch. Notice how Sydney pivots on her rear hip when she throws that right hand. Right? Her fist is horizontal, as if she's waving at her own face, and then she brings her hands back up. So one thing, Sydney's stance is a little too narrow. Look at how her right foot is behind her left. So she's a little off balance. When your kid stands in their fighting stance, make sure their right foot is shoulder width. So Sydney should cheat out her right foot towards us a little more. That way she's putting more balance in the ball of her foot as she pivots. Close, right on the chin. That's the uppercut. A defensive tactic is a leg check. What we say is never drop your hands, especially when they kick you in the leg. So here, simply throw a light kick to your child's thigh, and what they want to do is just bring that leg straight up. Notice how Sydney kind of turns her knee out. Her hands are up, her chin's down in her fighting stance still. And just nice and light, kick them right in the thigh, and then they should lift up their leg and not drop their hands. If your child's a little bit more advanced, have them do this without looking down, but tell them never drop your hands when they're kicking you in the leg. Notice how she brings her knee up, turns it out, so it catches Hunter in the shin. And then Sydney comes back to a good fighting stance. All right, that is the leg check. Going to start incorporating a block first, then an uppercut, then a hook, and then a roundhouse kick, followed by a right hook. So she blocks, up, left, kick, foot comes back so she can pivot on that right hook. So we want to incorporate reacting first and then counter striking. Shells up like a turtle, that new punch we learned. Left hook, keeping that right hand up, and then throw that right roundhouse kick, try and pivot. Make sure she brings the right foot back, and then throw a right hook. Now we're going to get into our grappling series. You learned the single leg at the last lesson. Now let's do the finish. So still head inside entry, snatching that leg. Now step behind the leg, grab near the Achilles, and then lift up in an overhand motion. Knee on belly, and then in a mount. Arms wide, hips low, legs crossed, like you're skydiving. So again, Sydney takes out that step. Hunter's got a humongous leg, bigger than Sydney, but it's okay. Lift up, fall down parent, that knee on belly, putting the hands on the shoulders, sliding that knee over to a mount. And this is the important part, keeping those heels crossed and then the arms wide so you have good balance. She picks up the leg, steps behind, 2 hands underhand grip, dumping the opponent to the ground. Don't get hurt by your kid here. And then when you do knee on belly, right, Sydney's being a little nice. She's putting the ball of her foot on the ground. If this is a real bad guy, she'd put all her weight down. Now the other leg, now she does it right, putting her toes away. Sliding it to mount. And then obviously Hunter's a little bigger, so Sydney cannot connect her ankles, but if she has a brother or sister or a smaller parent, right, you want to cross your feet back there. Making sure the hips are low. The chest could be up a little bit, but then the arms out wide. Straighter than that, they should be way past her ponytail. And the new game. It's essentially tag, but in a butt scoot. Hunter's first and tag. She is not showing any mercy to Sydney. Now it's Sydney's turn. Remember, one hand on the ground. You could even switch sides. You can go forwards, you can go backwards, but do not put both hands down. And make sure, parents, you don't hyperextend your shoulder. Make sure your posture is good. There's Hunter using her environment. She escapes Sydney's tag, and just a few rounds. Parent goes first, then the kid, but this is taking way too long, so I say, Sydney, go ahead and cheat. Gets up and tags her. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's lesson 5, learning that new close quarter punch, learning how to block a leg kick, a new mitt work drill, and then that single leg with that knee on belly mount finish. Thanks for watching, and see you for lesson 6.